when it's very small, it goes into the bloodstream. And all these heavy metal, toxic, fat, over protein, and the body cannot use it. The, the, the cell cannot digest it. So it's stuck in the blood and flow. And eventually it finds a place to settle down. So it gathered together like plaque, like thrombosis, and like the crystal. So all these things are toxic. Now and it settled down, block the blood vessel, block the organ. And all these things, when they gather together, they're quite heavy. And they tend to be, when the circulation not move well, it tends to be settled down in the lower part of the body. And it happened into the sexual organ. So the settlementation is not only settled down in the sexual organ, but settled down into every organ, all the organs. But it happen to be affect a lot when it settle down in the sexual organ, affecting the hormone cannot do well. Men have problem with sexual drive, and they lost the memory, back pain, all these kind of things started to happen. Women also the same. That means few thousand years ago, we don't have that much pollution like what we have now. But we still have it, dust, a lot of dust everywhere, you know. So when it settled down in the sexual organ, like men, a lot of them settle down in the testicle, settle down in the penis and the prostate gland. And the woman, a lot of them settle down in the uterus, in the ovary, in the vagina. And the clitoris, the clits, the whole clits, okay? Because the clits expand, and it's so here the clit expand, and the blue blood go in, blue blood go in and it expand. When the sexual aroused, it expand big, and when sexual aroused, the vagina also expand. So now a lot of blood go in. So when all these things started to settle down, and it's very hard to get out because there is one way. There's no other way to go out. So the technique is you break them back to very small, and you have to make sure your circulation are moved. You break them and drink a lot of water. Water is the best. Medicine is not that way. So when you break them and you drink a lot of water, and now the body will take care of it, like to the urine, usually the urine. And some part maybe go into the last intestine, the stool, but very seldom. Now, man, it go into the penis. So you see, for men, it go into the so for men, it go into the testicle, prostate gland, and the penis also. So we can see here this prostate gland. So bladder is always going to be blocked. So when you go into the testicle, now the factory are blocked. It cannot producing enough sperm and hormone for men. For lady, that like the clitoris, okay, and it's blocked there because it fill up and expand. The ovary, the uterus, the vagina, they all have a sedimentation, the Karsai, settle down in the sexual organ. Because our body, the sexual organ can expand and blue blood go in and hold there for a long time. That's the problem. So when people sexual aroused, the sexual organ fill up with blue blood. And everybody will have experienced that the sexual aroused, you know. Some people think maybe the monk or the nun, they don't have it. They're also human, and they have a cycle of sexual arousal, like the egg mature, and the full moon. Everything is a cycle, and they are the holy of the holiest one. They're still going to have sexual arousal, and the sexual organ expand. You know. So for men, it's very simple. Testicle hang outside, so you can work with that. You can massage the testicle. And the dragon tendon, you know, you always massage the perineum, and you grab like this and pull, grab and pull. Yeah, and you can do the expanding the massage, because sometimes you when you massage you feel that very a lot of things block it in their sexual organ. So everybody have it. When I learned this thing and I say I really like to have this because it's very touchy subject. I really want to have this. People understand that, and they can learn and take care of themselves, because sexual organ is the one that producing sexual hormone, you know. So the all the matter is in the blue blood. Because the blue blood is carry dirty thing and the and heavy and dirty and no power to move, no power to move. Different from the heart, from the blue blood. So the blood circulation system is very complicated. Where the major one we call the heart pumping, boom, boom, pumping. And we have about 51 pulses. If you interesting in all the pulse, we have the book called Live Pulse Massage. It's very good book, very detailed, so many pictures, and the research is so much to, yeah. So now the heart pump, and when you go out, when you go to one certain level, they are pulse. So you started for those of you who learn Chinese 1, 2, 3, I think you will have a lot more understanding the pulses. And that's why it puzzled me more than 35 years, 40 years, nearly 30 to 40 years, puzzled me. Because my master always work on the blue blood, the blue blood, the return blood. And he always told me that the blue blood is the one that causing all kinds of sickness problem. And the problem is there are no pulse. That's the whole key. And it's so simple thing, I cannot figure it out. Okay? So when I understand it, I said, oh my God, it's so simple, but I never understand it. like the femoral pulse is a big pulse, very easy to find. And this is inguinal pulse, also a little bit deeper than the femoral pulse. Femoral pulse more come up. So once you understand, you find this pulse on here, the red blood pulse. Now the next is the blue blood, but there's no pulse. Now, since the beginning of the Chinese history, all the medicine is so much involved with the pulse. They're touching the pulse and find the pulse, and they started to your kidney pulse is not good because the blood cannot go in very well, you know. So they try to find many ways to do it. So they have acupuncture, guasa, moxibustion, heating or tuina, and many things try to make all these things move. So this Chineitzzan massage is so much involved with all the pulses. Okay, yeah. But all the pulses is in the blue blood. And in the red blood, sorry, all the pulses in the red blood, and that is about 52 pulses. But in the blue blood, there are no pulse. But they're always next to it. So the blue blood pulse, and you can find the other blue blood is just next to it. There are no pulse, but they're next to it, you know. So I take, Aisha with me, you know. She's, and we work a lot, and okay. So the blue blood pulse, there are no pulse, blue blood no pulse. You only have to go into a red blood, and you going to recognize next to it. So that's why this is important technique that you have to get that. So for example, when we work on the blue blood here, you work on, this is navel, right here is the navel. Okay, so when you touch the navel, there are pulse. But Vinikava, no pulse. But the healing effect is in the Vinikava or vein. Vinikava vein. Because the vein carry all the CO2, and that's why it turned to blue. and the also dirty thing, so it go through the lymph system, lymphatic system. So there are many lymph system. So when it pass through the lymph system will take it because like an army camp. So they take all these toxic bacteria or whatever they are, and they go into the lymph. It's just like a clean out factory, and it clean them out. It kill the bacteria or whatever they are. So that is why the lymph have to be so many. So this is a very important understanding. The whole Chineyzan is based on we call the sedimentation and the pauses. And so when we have understand the pause, that what we do yesterday, the first part we call the hard line. And you always have to understand that you're working with aorta. Aorta, they have a moving force. They have the heart pump and there are pulses helping move. Yeah. So if you look carefully the whole line, red the aorta and blue vena cava, and now the artery, the red one, and the vein, the blue one. So when you find the pulse, all you do is from the aorta move up. So very important, move a little bit to vena cava. And vena cava is no pulse and moving slow. So you know that when you have enough water, vegetable, and the fiber, all these things help. Very simple, no need much anything, just have more clean water. Not some people think that I drink a lot of tea. No, tea not cow. Tea not cow. So they okay. So now yesterday we learned this the hard line. And after that we learn this is the major pulse that we learn. That is the aorta pulse, the sexual organ pulse. Never always work with it. Never is always work together. And we have the bladder on both sides, and that involved with the sexual organ also. Now femoral, so femoral also is a bladder root pulse here. So the bladder root pulse, femoral pulse, the bladder root pulse. and the aorta also bladder root pulse. So the bladder root pulse always involved with the sexual organ. So you have two bladder root pulse in the femoral and bladder root pulse in the aorta. Now bladder, the bladder pulse involved with like for men, the bladder root pulse, the bladder pulse involved with the prostate gland, involved with the penis, involved with all these sexual organ. It's quite big there, you know. And woman, the bladder. So here you have 5 pulses, and in the in the Chinese, the bladder meridian is very long. Okay, when we do the toxin, that's what we are learning. The toxin. The toxin is along the spinal cord. That is a major key. Okay, so now when we so this one, when you activate the 5 major bladder pulse, that is activate the sexual organ also. So in the woman, they have the uterus, ovary, vagina, clitoris. It's all involved with this bladder root pulse. So this is the major pulses that we are using in this Karsai neitzzan. Okay, so let's go to the part and work with it. The clear out clear out the groin area, this area, the whole groin. So the groin area all around here, and actually is all involved with the sexual organ here. So when you clear out the inside, the groin outside and the pubic inside here, you are cleaning out the sexual organ. And now the navel, uterus, when your finger put together uterus, and pinky finger is about the ovary. You know, when you scoop, so when you scoop them, okay, you really started to feel that even or not even. Because ovary have to be even. Nowadays, they discover that the ovary so many people have this ovary problem and the uterus problem. They tilt different way, and the ovary it should be level. It should be level. So these two ovary, it should be even. But now the tendon, that now they discuss the tendon. The tendon twist, and we don't know what causing it twist, but we know that cold and hot emotional make that problem. And he pull the ovary one side higher, one side lower. So now the hormone, because the hormone will stimulate one ovary a month, this side, and next month go on stimulate the other side. So the one that higher, that been stimulated to producing the egg, the fluid or the hormone sometimes flow into the lower one, and it stimulate them again, and that now get cramp, because now it's both of them get cramp and pain. You can feel them there pulling, the pull. One side higher, one side lower, you pull. And oftentimes it's a tendon, and it twisted. So when you press and release, and like that, press, release, press, and untie, it need detail, it need time to untie the knot or tangle, and it slowly become even. Now this uterus tilt in a different way, also affecting all the pregnancy. You can see that these four of them are tilted to a different direction. If they tilt the wrong way, the egg cannot go in. And that is how sometimes, for my experience, is the tendon. As I said, that there are 16 tendons pulling it, and the tendon, because of twisted and it tilt the whole. So sometimes it should be even. Sometimes one part of tendon. That's why when we have pain on the leg, pain in the back, it's the tendon are pulling. Tendon are pull.